Welcome everyone to another Singerreise video podcast. My name is Jonathan Sylvia and I'm your host. Thanks for joining us. This is the final video in a series I've been calling 7 Tips for Singer Taxes. Thus far we've covered some of the basics and 6 of the 7 tips. Tip number 1, keep a log of all your income. Tip number 2, put all of your self-employment income into a separate checking account. Tip number 3, only use your business checking account for business. Tip number 4, save for and pay estimated taxes. Tip number 5, track your mileage. And tip number 6, claim a home office expense. That all sounds pretty good, but I'm sure over the course of these videos I've created just as many problems as I've solved. So that brings us to our final tip. Tip number 7, get help and be consistent. Yes, you are going to need some help, but that help is valuable and it's worth paying for. A lot of singers hire a tax professional, and I highly recommend this. They can give way better advice than I can do in just a few videos, and better than you can find on Google, Bing, or YouTube or Facebook. They will also know all of the current tax law, and they will be able to handle all of the subtleties of everything I've mentioned thus far. If you need a tax professional to help you in your area, get in touch with me and I can point you in the right direction, show you where to look. But remember, this is your business and these are your taxes. If they are done wrong, the IRS isn't going to go after your tax accountant, they're going to come after you. So even when you have a tax professional on your team, make sure you understand everything that they are doing, and don't sign anything until you do. You will also need to be diligent with your record keeping throughout the year. When tax time comes, don't expect that you can just take a box with scraps of paper in it and just give it to them and hope it magically works out. Often, accountants charge by the hour, and singers are incredibly complex income situations. So the more organized you are when you approach them, the less it will cost you in cold, hard-to-come-by cash. All that being said, I've done my own taxes every year for the last 15 years without using an in-person professional. To do it this way, I use a combination of Quicken, spreadsheets, and TurboTax. Quicken downloads all of my banking information and even lets me track my cash. I can put all of my transactions into categories for looking up later. Quicken is also my primary household budgeting software, so I'm using it a few times every month. I use Quicken because I've been using Quicken for 15 years and I have a lot of history and data built up. But there are several options out there for tracking your expenses and creating a budget. A few others to consider are QuickBooks, FreshBooks, Mint, EveryDollar, You Need a Budget, also known as YNAB, and Bucksfur. In April, I export the hard data from Quicken and I put it into spreadsheets so that I can organize the data a little bit easier. Eventually, I wind up creating several tabs of spreadsheets in order to compile all of the information from all of the various sources. Things like my 1099s, W-2s, my income logs, the mileage charts, and the home office expenses, like what I've been talking about in these tips. Then I boot up TurboTax. I used to use TurboTax Deluxe, but I've long since graduated from that. Now I'm using the more expensive TurboTax Home and Business, this one. It's the only one now that lets me do both my personal income and my self-employment income. Near the beginning of the year, it's usually on sale, and so I can find it for about $65. Finally, whether you use a tax professional or TurboTax, it becomes very important that you remain as consistent as possible from year to year to year. So if you use a tax professional, keep going back to that same person every year, assuming you like their work, and develop a relationship with them. Using TurboTax every year, it picks up information from the previous year's return and uses that to generate the current year's return. Plus, I already know all of the steps that TurboTax is going to take me through, so I can have all of my information ready and organized even before I install the software. Eventually, the whole process becomes like a well-oiled machine. After years of practice, taxes are far less intimidating now than they were before. So, be diligent, be thorough, and know that it gets easier from here. I hope that you have found these 7 tips helpful. And if you have any tips of your own, please add them to the comments below here in YouTube. You can also comment in Facebook or on our Twitter page. And while you're there, make sure to like, follow, or subscribe any of those. You can also read any of these articles at Singerreise.com, our official website. Finally, Singerreise is very costly for me to maintain, both in terms of the monetary cost of equipment and websites and so on, but especially in terms of the amount of time it requires. This is another part-time job for me, taking another 20 or 30 hours every single week. So please consider supporting Singerreise by contributing at patreon.com/Singerreise. Without your support, I won't be able to keep Singerreise going, and I will eventually have to shut it down. But with your support, I can both keep Singerreise going, and I can continue to grow and expand it, moving on to bigger and better things. And if you needed more incentive, there are tons of patron-exclusive rewards waiting for you there. So head to patreon.com/Singerreise and hit that Become a Patron button. So, whether you're a returning patron, a casual follower of Singerreise, or you're watching your first Singerreise video right now, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me for the next video.